Hi, my name is Sarah Price, and this is my introduction video for ACTE 699. A little bit about me. I currently work at Ephrata Intermediate School in the Ephrata Area School District. I'm a fifth grade general education teacher, and I teach social studies and science. I work on a team of 3, so total we have around 80 students, and then they rotate throughout the day to math, ELA, and then they come to me for social studies and science. And then this is my second year teaching at Ephrata Area School District. Just some of the pictures that I included the Ephrata E, our logo, and then in the top left, I just included some of the activities that I do in the classroom that I had photos of. One of them is just a British and Patriots activity during our Revolutionary War unit. And then on the top right is a build your own board game activity that I did at the end of the school year last year to have students summarize one of their favorite topics that they learned throughout the year. They were to create a board game. Some of my hobbies and interests, I am a Girls on the Run coach, and this is my second year coaching Girls on the Run as the head coach. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been an active volunteer in their 5K events. I obviously enjoy running. I also like yoga and hiking. I enjoy traveling. One of my favorite places to go is the beach, but I also like traveling to different states that I haven't been to, and then also some different countries. I also like reading. And a new hobby of mine is DIYing. I like to kind of do trash to treasure. So taking other people's trash and turning it into something useful. So for example, I found a really grimy dresser that someone put out for trash, and I decided to take it and sand it and paint it, and now it's a beautiful piece of furniture in my home. That being said, I just bought a new home and I am currently remodeling it. So I think that goes along with the DIYing. I'm really enjoying redoing the home and making it mine. My ACTE concentration and place in the program. So I am currently in my Master's of Education in the Assessment Curriculum and Teaching program. My concentration is STEM education, and my goal is to become certified in K-12 STEM, so to become a specialist in that area. And I will be graduating this December. The questions for this module. The first question that was asked of us was, Mills and Spencer outlined 4 stages of the action research process. Which of these stages do you feel you will have the most difficulty with, and why? When reading over the stages of action research and reading the first chapter in the Guide for Teacher Researchers, I really thought of the SLO that we have to do each year, where you have a question and you collect data, but that is more for teacher evaluation than it is just for research purposes. But I do think that something I find the most difficult about it is, what do I even want to research? And finding a topic that is relevant yet measurable. I usually find topics that are relevant, but they are hard to measure, or I find a measurable topic, but it's not necessarily relevant to my students. So finding that balance on what I want to research and then making it something that I can actually measure and collect data on. And then I also think something that is difficult in this process is developing a plan with due dates for myself, and then also holding myself accountable, knowing that I have to meet certain due dates along with the whole and the plan as a whole, I think is what I'm finding a little bit difficult looking at it right now in the beginning. It looks like a lot of work. So just developing a plan with due dates and kind of sticking to that and making it not as overwhelming as it seems to be. The next question that was asked was that, what obstacles do you see with this approach for making action research a part of the daily teaching practices? Again, I do feel like this is a little bit like an SLO, but longer, or maybe even more frequent and more specific. So I think the time investment is the biggest obstacle that I see, making it connect with the curriculum and then not wasting time doing an action research plan that does not necessarily show results. So an obstacle that I see with this is spending a lot of time planning and creating a topic and some assessments and stuff that you want to test with a new theory, and then doing all of that work and then showing not so much growth in your student data. So having them maybe not master something or not really change their level of knowledge within the assessment that you're giving them, and kind of wasting that time, because we do have standards and state testing. So my students are expected to know so much data by a certain point, and if my research plan is not successful, I am harming my students when it comes to state testing. Also scheduling conflicts. Just throughout the year, there's so many days off of school and different events and assemblies and stuff like that. So another obstacle I see is having a consecutive amount of time where you can kind of do this research plan without having any major delays like Christmas break in the way. And then another obstacle, obviously, which is it's always going to be an obstacle, is class sizes. I have about 27 students and 80 students overall. So deciding if I want to do the research plan with just one of my groups of students or with everyone. The stories from the field. I felt like I resonated with both of the teachers in different ways. So with Rebecca, I felt that I really do student-centered activities, and her writing of the newspaper was based around students and their interests. And their families and their family involvement. And I like to try to do that as much as I can in my classroom. And I thought that her approach was a little bit more engaging. But I do think that Julie had a great concept with collecting data and documentation. So if I could combine both of them, I feel like that would be almost the perfect plan. But I do think that I resonate with both. The one concern that I have with conducting our action research project in my class is the amount of data that needs to be collected on a consecutive basis, and remembering to record and collect data almost daily or even more than daily to see results. So that is all for my presentation for this module. I hope that you enjoyed watching it, and I am looking forward to your feedback and your comments, and I'm looking forward to also working with you throughout this course. Thank you.